Good evening and welcome to this special broadcast that we are bringing to you from Kathmandu at this moment. Behind me are the charred remains of the Parliament of Nepal. And the young people and the country is hoping that from these ashes rises a new Nepal, which many of these young people protested, fought, and they believe now have won this battle against the old systems in Nepal, the old political parties, and what was going on for last many decades. It was a lot of turbulence and violence that led to this day, but at least in the last 3 to 4 days, the situation in the capital Kathmandu has remained calm but slightly tense. Things this morning, as the curfew was lifted, are now looking up. People are hoping the interim the Prime Minister, Sushila Karki, would be able to drive the country in a place where the expectations of the youth and the people would be met. There would be new elections in the next 6 months. Behind me, you would also see a lot of people gathering at this place. They are in fact a candlelight vigil, a tribute to those who passed away in the brutal crackdown by the government on the 8th of September. Young lives were lost here when the government in fact had cracked down, and post that there has been, of course, a lot of hope here in the people that the system will change and what went on in Nepal for decades will not be as is. Neighboring India is also looking at the developments keenly. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi today spoke about the new Prime Minister and the situation in Nepal and the relations with India.
हिमालय की गोद में बसा नेपाल भारत का एक मित्र है, करीबी दोस्त है। मैं आज नेपाल में अंतरिम सरकार की प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में पदभार संभालने पर 140 करोड़ भारतवासियों की तरफ से श्रीमती सुशीला जी को हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं। मुझे विश्वास है कि वे नेपाल में शांति, स्थिरता और समृद्धि का मार्ग प्रशस्त करेगी।
People today came out in large numbers onto the streets as the curfew was lifted in the morning after the oath-taking ceremony of the interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki last night. The army is on the vigil, but a lot of people, as you would see behind me, have come out. The situation in Kathmandu is slowly but steadily limping back to normalcy. Me and my colleagues were out today to see firsthand how the city is waking up to a new dawn. Take a look.
After 5 long days, the curfew has finally been lifted here in Kathmandu, Nepal. The life is returning slowly to normalcy. There are people coming out for their daily job and work. There are grocery shops that are opening as well. You can see right behind me, I'm standing at the Maharaj Ganj Chowk here in Kathmandu, which is a very popular destination not very far from the original residence of the new Prime Minister Sushila Karki. You can see traffic moving very swiftly. There are buses, there are private vehicles, there are also traffic police personnel who are standing guard there. In different intersections, we can still see the army personnel, standing and providing security. But overall, the scenario is such that the curfew has been completely lifted. As I said, there are shops also opening. On my left, you can see the shops that are slowly returning to normalcy are opening. Let's also remember that Kathmandu is a very big tourist destination and the tourism industry has suffered immensely in the last 5 to 6 days. And now, slowly and steadily, there is traffic resuming here in Kathmandu. There are taxis plying, buses plying, and of course people are sensing a sigh of relief that after deadly violence in which 51 people were killed and more than 500 injured, now there is a sense of calm, there is a sense of stability in that an interim Prime Minister like Sushila Karki is in charge and will be taking command of the governance of the country.
Nepal has woken up to a new morning. For the first time in the last 5 days. There is no curfew, and the situation in the capital city, Kathmandu, is limping back to normalcy. This is one of the very prominent, famous Bhat Bhateni superstore in Nepal, in Kathmandu, an icon to say the least. And while you see the remnants of the anger of September 9th, the day when Kathmandu and the icons of Kathmandu, the icons of the old system in this country were burning, today, of course, is a new dawn. And there is a huge cleanup exercise which is going on. Some of them volunteers, others, those who work in the superstore, employees of the superstore, have taken it upon themselves to, in fact, get into action and engage in this cleanup. You could understand by these visuals itself of the anger and how it scorched everything that stood as a symbol of a system which the Gen Z or the young people did not approve of. Why did this superstore, one of the iconic ones, came under, face the ire of the people? That we don't know yet, but at least with the interim government being set up, and the hope now is that there would be, of course, a systemic change. It's ironic that these women, those who are engaged in this massive cleanup operation, there is a woman at the helm of affairs at this moment in Nepal. There will be challenges to, before this superstore can come back to life, can start functioning smoothly, and similar challenges for the interim government under Sushila Karki as well, to bring this nation together, as at this moment they are at a very important precipice. The youth power-driven change here in Nepal has, in fact, at this moment brought also a lot of hope for people and their future. But on September 9th, apart from other buildings which saw the anger, was also one of the biggest media house here in Nepal, the Kantipur television network. We caught up with them to see how they have once again started operations after being attacked on September 9th. You could mistake this as a battleground, a possible place where a missile has struck. And if I talk in context of Nepal, you could also mistake this as one of the government buildings which saw the ire, the anger of the people, of the young protesters who were against the old system and the symbols of the old systems. But don't mistake that to be, because this is a very essential part of any democracy. This is one of the largest media groups, the iconic Kantipur media group, and their headquarters here in Kathmandu, which also were torched. Vandalism took place, and at this moment has been completely crippled after on 9th September, when angry crowds took the streets of Kathmandu, an absolute chaotic scenes. And this media organization also was burned down and also had to face the ire of the protesters. I mean, for a journalist, somebody like me, it's absolutely heartbreaking to see one of our most essential equipment, the tripod here, being among the debris of what has been burnt. OB vans, vehicles of the staff, everything that stands here has been charred. I'm being joined at this moment by the editor-in-chief of this news organization of Kantipur television, Mr. Vijay Paudel. Sir, thank you so much for speaking to us. First of all, my heartfelt condolences to what has happened to absolute, your news organization, your entire network, and these buildings have been burned down. And also, hats off to you to be back on air. We'll talk about that in just a bit. I just want to understand from you what happened that day and what are we seeing? I mean, at this moment, it all seems just burnt black buildings.
Yeah. As you already described that this is like a war zone. You see, this is all the vehicles are burned. Our studio buildings is burned. Our administrative and news building has been burned. I have to describe. I want to describe it that at that time we are working on our newsroom and studio is in operation. We are live. We were giving news because the previous day there was a very much agitation of the Gen Z people, and then there is so much tension among the people. What will happen? And we are trying to give the people the right information, and we are working. This is our main building. As you see, there is written on Kandipur television also written there is. Yeah, this is our main building. It is administrative work and the newsrooms, all newsroom productions and the entertainment program has been, we work here. And this is they start to bond from here. They bring a motorbike there. As you see, there is.
So in a normal day, before 9 September, if I would have come to your office, I would have entered from here. This would have been your main office.
You have to enter from here, and here is the reception desk. You see, here is the reception desk, and you get the reception. Here is the waiting lounge, and there is a big screen for each and everybody who sits here. They can see, and we have to go from there to upstairs. This is our lift. From the lift we used to go for go, and all the staffs go from here.
All this has been burned down.
All this has been burned.
The building is charred.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you to start the transmission? Are you now back 24/7? What's happening?
We are now from yesterday 4 p.m. We are now back.
About 72 hours.
Our transmission has got to 72 hours. It is the close, and then now after 4 p.m. we start our news, and we are now in 24/7 on air and in transmission.
For a moment, go to that gentleman who is sitting there. He's one of the very senior camera persons here at Kantipur Television, and he was shot at. The day when these killings took place, when all this happened. श्याम जी, आप कैमरा पे थे उस दिन, आपको गोली भी लगी हाथ में. मुझे बताएंगे उस दिन क्या हुआ था?
अलि पर गएर ढलेपछि अनि म गएर त्यो नजिकमा गएर क्लोज खिच्न खोजे.
क्लोज शॉट लेने गए थे.
क्लोज शट लिन गएको थिएँ. त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ त्यो क्लोज शट लिँदाखेरि चाहिँ गोली चारैतिरबाट बर्सिन थालेपछि म भाग्ने क्रममा,
मतलब जब फायरिंग हुई तो आप भागने की कोशिश कर रहे थे वहां से?
यहाँनिर लाग्यो मलाई. मलाई थाहा थिएन. एकछिनपछि पोल्यो अनि ब्लड, अनि एकजना भाइले भन्यो कि अङ्कल,
आपको पता नहीं चला फिर यहाँ पे?
अनि अङ्कल तिम्रो यहाँ गोली, तपाईँको यो गोली लागेछ अङ्कल भन्यो. अनि यसो हेरेको अनि रगत बग्दै थियो. पोले पनि.
You know, if you come to Delhi and if you come to NDTV office, I'll just give you a sense of how difficult it is for them to work here. We have a massive floor, which we call the heart and soul of our program, the output desk. All of our colleagues, we sit there, we plan, and everything comes in there. You know, it's on any given shift, it will be about 500 people sitting together to try and put the program out. But because they have been targeted, it has all been reduced to these few people, those who are making sure that Kantipur's resilience is shown on air despite this attack, and they are able to go, on air. As news person, we never want to be the news, but today Kantipur is the news because of what happened.
Yes, it's some way unfortunate for us. We don't want to be on news. We want to deliver news, but it's happening that we are on news. That's unfortunate for us.
Is there a sense of fear as well after what has happened?
Yes, because many of our journalists were working on the newsroom and on the field and in the studios. One of our camera person was shot on the day of September 8 when he was reporting the peaceful protest when the crackdown happened from the side of government force. Myself, I was also hurt because I was manhandled and beaten up by this mob that came inside the Kandipur television premises.
We have hope, and we'll stand and show the world that we are rising again. And we are as you saw, we are rising from the ashes. We will stand like that. As a Kantipur is going on, like that. Our country, Nepal, will be rise once again and we'll give masses from the Mount Everest top to the world.
That's a fantastic, message to end on. Thank you so much, and thank you. You're very kind for letting us come here. This is the big message, and at least for the media, it's unfair to target the messenger. And at this moment, at least, like the editor-in-chief of Kantipur Television said, we are hopeful, and Nepal once again will rise from the ashes of what happened on September 9th. While Nepal is slowly coming back to normalcy, all across you will see young people gathering around and talking about what had happened and, of course, the kind of future that they would want to see of their country. It is a country with, enormous youth dividend, and now they are hoping that once they have challenged the old system, there is going to be a better dawn. A much responsible political system that will, of course, be formed in the country after the Gen Z revolution. I'm slipping into a short break. Coming back, stay tuned. Welcome back. For the first time in Nepal's democratic history, there would be a woman at the helm of affairs. The first woman Chief Justice of Nepal, Sushila Karki, has taken over as the interim Prime Minister of Nepal. Though 73-year-old Ms. Karki, is not exactly Gen Z, but she enjoys a lot of support from the young people of Nepal, and especially the big groups, whether it is Mr. Balen Shah or Mr. Gurung, all of them have expressed support to Sushila Karki because of her strong work against the corruption in the Nepalese, political system. Now, all hopes are that she would be able to clean up the system and pave way for a new government. She comes from very humble origins, despite her big achievements. Take a look at this report.
Well, Nepal has finally got its interim government and an interim Prime Minister. Sushila Karki, who was in fact the first female Chief Justice of the Nepal Supreme Court, has now become the first female Prime Minister of Nepal. What an incredibly historic moment. In fact, NDTV is the only channel that could locate the original residence of Sushila Karki, which is in the Dapasi area of Kathmandu, which is about roughly 30 minutes from the Secretariat, which is the Singh Darbar, which would be the seat of the government in many ways. You can see this is the residence of Sushila Karki, where she has been residing for last several years. Even though she was the Chief Justice, she had a top position in the government, but clearly did reside in the most simplest manner. I've been speaking to the neighbors here who say that she has had a very simple lifestyle for decades together. No elite kind of a behavior, no nepo kids, and clearly working for the interest of the common masses. रीता भंडारी जी joins us here. रीता जी, आप कब से यहाँ पर रह रही हैं? और पहले तो ये बताएं कि सुशीला कार्की आपके यहाँ पर बगल में रहती हैं, तो वो प्रधानमंत्री बन गई हैं, आपको कैसा लग रहा है?
मेरे को तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. मैं उनको स्वागत करती हूँ, है ना. मैं यहाँ पर 5 साल हुआ. मेरे को उनको बानी स्वभाव उनका अच्छा लगता है. मैं तो पहले से ही उनको माँ मानती हूँ. मेरे लिए वो माँ है, इतना ही जानती हूँ.
I feel so honored to be her neighbor right now. She has always been the respectable person, and she's so blunt about her decisions. I feel so blessed to be her neighbor right now. And I think she is the best candidate right now to lead our nation. And she will be the voice of the youth as well.
The old symbol of the power and the administration here in Kathmandu was the Singh Darbar, a very old 1908 constructed palace which was used as the administrative offices. Most of the ministries were in that offices along with the Prime Minister's office. On 9th September, the anger of the youth burned that completely. There was a lot of distress among people of how such a historical building was burnt down. But for the new interim Prime Minister, this new building, which is part of the Singh Darbar complex itself, is going to serve as the Prime Minister's office. The white building that you see behind me here will be the new Prime Minister's office. This was in fact a new building in the Singh Darbar complex, which was made for the Home Ministry, which will now be used by Sushila Karki as the Prime Minister's office. This is also being protected by the army all across. In fact, if I go further to the other gate, that's where all the signs of the burnt Singh Darbar, the historical building, are still there, completely charred and black. But before it is restored in some shape or manner, this new building, the white one that you see, is going to serve as the Prime Minister's office for Sushila Karki and her colleagues. This is where they are going to take some crucial decisions which will at least put Nepal on the path that many citizens and the youth here are hoping for. From the raging fires to this candlelight vigil here, Nepal's youth is hoping that they have brought the country to a precipice of a monumental change. With an interim government now coming into place, and Sushila Karki, the new the Prime Minister, who went today to meet those who were injured on 8th and the 9th, the hope is that there would be a new dawn which will rise from above the Mount Everest, and a big message of clean governance, of responsible governance that the youth of Nepal want would be loud and clear for the people. There is a lot of hope, but the road ahead is also full of challenges as Nepal waits for a clear way, a clear path to move ahead. That's all the time that we have in this edition. News and updates will continue. Thank you so much for being with us. From here, Kathmandu, Ankit Tyagi signing off.